Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm about to watch The Dark Knight for my next commentary track, the follow-up to Batman Begins. And right now I'm at the Warner Brothers logo, where it's more of a dark blue. It looks kind of like something out of one of the later Harry Potter movies, when they start to really darken the Warner Bros. Logo. And I've got it paused right as the logo was fully in view. And I'm going to press play. I'm going to count down and press play, and you can follow along with me if you like. And 3, 2, 1. I press play. And here we go. Now, this movie was a game changer for me when I saw it. It was one of my favorite Batman movies, for sure. Now we're at the DC Comics logo. You can see like a little bit of the Joker's smile in there. I think that's pretty cool. The explosion that foreshadows something that happens in the movie. You know, I first saw this when my mom's boyfriend at the time took me. I really enjoyed it, although we were a little late, so I missed this like opening scene with the Joker and his men. And there he is with the clown mask. I do think this intro was done pretty well. I'm also watching this with subtitles because the last video got claimed for copyright, so I'm trying to mitigate that as much as I can. Are they named after the Seven Dwarves? Because the subtitles have their names as like Happy and Dopey. That's pretty funny. Yeah, and there's Grumpy. Yeah, I didn't know that they had those names before. That's pretty funny. I wonder what Joker's name would be. Would he be Doc? Wouldn't really describe him as bashful. I do like this opening where they're robbing the bank. And I think that guy is Joker with the blue over his mask. Or is he not there yet? I forget sometimes. Even though I've seen this movie probably a million times. I think that is him. And there's another clown that's driving the bus. I think that's what it is that I'm thinking of. And I guess Batman wouldn't be there because it's in broad daylight. Oh, his name is Bozo. Oh. And there's the bus. Okay. And he just picks them off one by one. I believe that whatever doesn't kill you simply makes you stranger. There's Heath Ledger. R.I.P. Is gonna poison them with gas. Which I guess is a pretty Joker thing to do. It is Joker venom, but they don't have that in this movie. I wonder if that's supposed to be like a little nod to that, though. Around here is probably where I got into the theater when I first saw this movie. And I think I saw it a second time in the theaters, but I forget who took me. It might have been my dad. And I think that's Montoya. Like how for the suspects for Batman, they have Bigfoot and Abraham Lincoln. I wanted to call him George Washington for some reason, but I knew that wasn't right. I guess when your mind goes to like presidents, it goes to one of those two immediately. And this Russian guy. There's Scarecrow. I guess that means he somehow wasn't caught in between the time between Batman Begins and this movie. Which is pretty fine, because I do love this first scene with Batman. And they got the imposters. It's a little bit like the Sons of Batman from The Dark Knight Returns, that kind of idea. There's Batman. Yeah, this character's like, that's more like it. I like how he bends the barrel. Man, those dogs are really attacking that one imposter. Really screwed the pooch on that one. That's a cool bit of technology. I think he's got some more gadgets in this one than the first. Oh yeah, I love this part. See, now that's Batman right there. I'm not wearing hockey pants. Hockey pads. Maybe you need subtitles to understand what Batman's saying in that voice sometimes. So at this point, Batman is aware of Joker. Oh, right, because the end of Batman Begins. That makes sense. I like how in this movie he's got this, like, secret storage room. Yeah, Alfredo's, that was a pretty big dog. I do love Aaron Eckhart as Harvey Dent in this movie. There's Rachel, the recasted Rachel. Hope he didn't get too attached to Katie Holmes. I think this movie's even longer than Batman Begins. They're there in the courtroom. Yeah, I think Batman Begins was around 2 hours and 20 minutes. This is like a little over 2.5 hours. There's Salvatore Maroni. In The Long Halloween, it was actually in the courtroom where they throw acid on him and he becomes Two-Face, but they do it a little differently here, and I think it works pretty well. It happens later in the movie, of course. He's so charismatic. He's in another comic book movie, The History of Violence. I haven't seen that one, though. But eventually I probably will watch it for one of these. I like that he's got a little bit of distrust in Gordon. Harvey Two-Face. Mr. Lau. He's all beat from his previous night of kicking ass. He's like, well, I am the world's greatest... I don't know if you know this, but I am the world's greatest detective. It's kind of a meta joke, him not being able to turn his head in the Batman suit. And like I said in the last commentary, I do really like his new bat suit in this movie. I do like this dinner scene too, the conversation that they're having. There's that iconic line. So good. I do like that Bruce is willing to work with Harvey. In the Telltale games, they were like already friends, but they're more like strangers here. And I think they're also friends in the animated series too, aren't they? Michael Jai White. I think he's actually in Arrow too, as the Bronze Tiger. I think that's him. There's the Joker. Ooh-hee, aha, aha. I thought my jokes were bad. I think this is the funniest Joker scene in the movie. It's gone. You can hardly recognize Heath Ledger under that makeup. I think this probably was the first movie that I've seen him in, because I wouldn't have seen like A Knight's Tale or 10 Things I Hate About You when I was a kid. At least not this young. I was about 10 or 11 here. I think it was 10 when I saw this. Nine or 10. Though I do like that there's a brief scene in this movie later on where we see him without the makeup. you're good at something, never do it for free. And I do like that this Joker, he speaks differently than other Jokers do. Let's now blow this out of proportion. Yeah. I like that even though this is a more serious take on the Joker, he's still funny. Joker's first appearance was in the original Batman issue when they spun him off into his own series from Detective Comics. Catwoman, her first appearance is also in that issue, and Robin. In the original comics, Batman isn't a loner for that long. Although later on they do have an era where he's a loner before meeting Robin. Like those Year One and The Long Halloween stories like that. As I said in the last commentary, these movies are surprisingly funny. Especially knowing like how dark this gets later on. Nice. Morgan Freeman's so good in these movies too. He's not in the next one. Or no, yeah, he is. He's just not as big of a part of it. You know what? Alfred deserves a little bit of R&R after what he's been through. How about Alive? I love that little misdirect. I think here you can see that it's Heath Ledger more clearly. The hair, at least, is a bit more recognizable. Another thing I should note is that this and the Tim Burton movie have Joker wearing white makeup, but in the comics, if you don't know, his skin is actually bleached white from like falling into a vat of chemicals. Nice. I guess whoever wins the fight joins. Or does he want them to kill each other? I love how this is just a front for Batman tracking him down and stopping him. Pretty clever. Yep, and that's the device they wanted him to take. I love that line. Like a submarine, Mr. Wayne, like a submarine. It is pretty cool how they replicate bat sonar. There's the new suit. He's like, what? I love how the wings pop out like that. That's pretty cool. And there's the cape. Nice. That's like something Spider-Man would do. Just leave a note for the police. Your friendly neighborhood Batman. I've heard people complain about them explaining what a RICO case is, but you gotta keep in mind this movie was marketed to children. Children really wouldn't know what that is. Hell, it's how I learned what a RICO case was. Even with this movie being all serious as it was still pretty marketed to children, like I said. I know I definitely had a few toys when I was younger. I remember I bought the Batmobile with some birthday money or something, and I was really excited about that. And it shot out the motorcycle like later in the movie. Well, that was really cool. I also have a pinball machine that's based on this movie. Just like a little small tabletop one. And also, my mom got me like a little play set that came with a Batman and a Joker, and it was a Batmobile that you could fold out into the Batcave. I thought that was pretty cool. There's a Joker card in her files. That's a nice touch. Oh, I think this scene gave me a jump in the theaters. If this is the one that I'm thinking of, the part that I'm thinking of. Yeah, it is. That's pretty crazy. Will the real Slim Shady please stand up? You'll act like you never seen a Dark Knight before. He really nailed the Joker laugh. Second only to Mark Hamill, if you ask me. And that's as deep as his voice has been so far in this whole movie. I'm a man of my word. Especially that laugh at the end. Oh, it's so good. It's like, well, she went out with a guy that dressed like a bat. Is that a little bit of jealousy? Seeing her or seeing him with these women? I believe in Harvey Dent. I do like how they say later that he was hoping to rely on Harvey so that he could retire. He just throws the drink over the ledge. I love that. Guess he's got to be sharp at all times. Yeah, and they're hinting towards that right now. But I kind of have to question if she was ever gonna make good on her promise. Maybe she was, like, a while ago, but now this has been going on for a while and she's met someone else. It's not really something that she wants to do anymore. Trying to keep the judge safe. Yeah, they might have poisoned the drink. Nice. Love the cards coming out too. It's a pretty nice touch. Where is Harvey Dent? It's funny how he puts his hair back a little bit when he's intimidating her. These like different stories that he tells about the scars, it's kind of like that same idea from Batman the Killing Joke, when Joker's like, if I'm gonna have a past, I prefer for it to be multiple choice. Never really gives a straight answer, but I like the fan theory that the one that he tells Harvey in the hospital is closer to what actually happened. I wonder if shrapnel made his face look like that or something. Could have been. Or maybe even being tortured by an enemy. Something like that. The little knife that comes from his shoe. I feel like this movie wouldn't work as well as it does without Heath Ledger swinging for the fences. Like, it's very unfortunate that it apparently had an effect on his mental health. He did a great job, though. I guess kind of going method and being in that mindset would mess with you. And he's not like being a little troll to his cast members like Jared Leto was in the Suicide Squad movie. He's more isolationist from what I can tell. Can't believe Jared Leto did all that for that movie. It's crazy. I'll probably talk a little bit more about that when I get to Suicide Squad. Which is a movie I actually do like. But not nearly as much as this, for obvious reasons. There's another iconic line from this movie. Man, the stranglehold that this had in 2008. You know, this actually probably is still my favorite movie from 2008. There's another pretty notable comic book movie from that year, too. But, man, this is just, like, on another level. Although I do love the other one a lot, too. To which I'm, of course, referring to Iron Man, the one that started the MCU. You see that little drawing on the newspaper? This guy that tries to blackmail him. $10 million a year. That's pretty steep. It's a pretty good liar. Yeah, that whole system that he sets up later in the movie. Starting to foreshadow that a little bit. Yeah, I think this is the part where we see Joker without the makeup on. I think Loeb's name comes from Jeff Loeb, the comic book author. He wrote The Long Halloween, I'm pretty sure. Probably some other Batman comics too. Oh, he wrote Dark Victory too. Just kind of the origin of him finding Robin and training him. Kind of fits in. And there's Joker. It kind of fits in with that, like, kind of reboot of the Batman series. It follows A Long Halloween. Oh yeah, and there's where they quote unquote kill Commissioner Gordon. There's David Desmalchin, who's also a Polka Dot Man in the DCU. I think he's done some comedy too. And then breaking the news to his wife. In the comics, Jimmy becomes like a crazy serial killer. Oh, I like this scene where he goes to the nightclub. What makes you think I want to hear you talk? As I was saying in Batman Begins, the hand-to-hand combat in this movie, and these movies aren't like amazing like in the Batman Arkham games, but here's a fight scene that I think is actually pretty good. Yeah, because his penthouse is like far away from Gotham City. I love that part. Someone knows where he is. There's David Desmelchin. The polka dot man in the DCEU. Great line delivery. But I'm with Harvey now. Oh, she didn't mention Harvey there. Maybe that's another part. Today I don't want to. Man. I'm gonna tell him the whole thing was your idea. I used that quote in a painting class. Like, we had to choose a quote to write and paint around. That's what I did. I am the Batman. And Bruce stepping forward. He's like, "What? You didn't tell me you're gonna do that." It's pretty nice of Harvey to take the fall. Got her to stop talking with a kiss. Strategic kiss. You make your own luck. I love the double-sided coin. Uh-oh. There's Joker. The Jonkler. There's this Batman Arkham City subreddit, and it's just become like this cesspool of memes and stuff. And they call Joker the Jonkler there. It's pretty funny. It's like everyone a part of that subreddit has gone crazy. Slaughter. There's a bazooka. think in one of the Lego Batman games you can play as Heath Ledger and he's got a bazooka. Lego Batman 3, I think. That was a pretty fun game. They also had him in a nurse outfit. That's from later in this movie. Now that was a cool shot. The Batmobile burning on fire in the back. What is this, Grand Theft Auto? I think Joker's still pretty funny in this movie. Oh, time for the Bat Bike. I think it's really cool. And it's got those little guns on the side. Rack 'em up, rack 'em up, rack 'em up. Nice. I love how the wheels turn over like that. I think having it come from the Batmobile was a really cool way of doing it. The way he just fell over. You know, when I first saw this movie, I thought this was the ending. It only gets crazier from here. I didn't realize they were gonna do Two-Face. This part's in the trailer. I remember that because I watched it a lot back in the day. I love how he claps like that. He's like, you know what? Sure. Fair play. Look at these ugly bastards. And the captions, his name is just Thug. Just thugging it out. I saved him. Evening, Commissioner. Here comes my favorite part of the movie. My favorite scene. Your people. That little side eye that he gives. His makeup's all smudged. Well, depending on the time, he may be in one spot or several. We're gonna do this. I'm gonna need a cup of coffee. If we're gonna play games, yeah. Not exactly. Never start with the head. The victim gets all fuzzy. He can't feel the next. See? But you didn't disappoint. You let 5 people die. Then, you let Dent take your place. Even to a guy like me, that's cold. What would I do without you? Go back to ripping off mob dealers? No. You complete me. Don't talk like one of them. You're not. Even if you'd like to be. You know, what's interesting about the Joker and a lot of these iterations is that he seems to form some kind of parasocial attachment to Batman. I've even made jokes with friends in the past that he just wants to have sex with them. Civilized people, they'll eat each other. Just ahead of the curve. Riches. I'm considering it. It's so low and gravelly. You know, I wonder if Joker could even feel pain in this movie, because he doesn't seem to be reacting to it that much. If something happened with him where he can't feel things anymore or something, I don't know. Or something with his nerves. Oh, so he told Gordon he was going after Rachel. Interesting. Forgot about that part. That's nice. And he's even egging on this guy. Or maybe he just enjoys pain. That could also be the case. Maybe he likes getting people worked up to the point where they want to inflict violence on him. There's part of his face in the oil. Gotta set up his burning. You know, as far as the realism goes, I think that was a pretty decent way of making that happen. It's like making it more flammable on one side of his face. I could see that. I like how Batman The Long Halloween has a new origin for Two-Face when that book came out. That's pretty much the one that people accept from the comics. I don't even know if they ever did try making another origin before that. Maybe it's some alternate timeline, I guess. But I wouldn't know for sure. I want my phone call. Right in the side of his stomach. That's crazy. You can even see it light up. And here's where she knows that she's gonna die. Just accepts it. That's pretty sad. She just got Jason Todded. His death was from an explosion too in the comics, I believe. And his mom too. I don't think the animated Under the Red Hood doesn't have his mom dying with him, but in the comics she does. That's a great shot too. Joker just hanging outside the side of a cop car. Like a dog almost. Yeah, that's great too. Just standing at the wreckage. And that's where Alfred finds the note. But as your friend. And he thinks that Rachel loved him. This is a great scene too. Yeah. He just takes the note to protect him from it. Burn the forest down. Speaking of burn, there's Harvey. That's the kid from Breakfast Club, Anthony Michael Hall. I didn't realize that before this watch through. It's also in Halloween Kills. 16 Candles too, I believe. Yeah, I think he's in that too. Weird Science. I'm not sure how I missed that until now. I guess it's because I didn't really know what he looked like when he was older. Until Halloween Kills came out. Part of the Brat Pack. They cut away from it. I like how they built it up like that. There it is. I think it looks really good. It's like a zombie. In the comics, it's usually less like that and more like a cartoon character looking thing. more like how it is in Batman the Animated Series. Oh yeah, the stack of money. This is an iconic scene too. Where's the Italian? Nintendo, every time they need to make $1 billion. They're cheap. It's a fair point, I guess. When Joker wants to make a statement, who really goes for it, huh? It's about sending a message. Everything burns. Yeah, I love what Bruce does here. It's kind of like how in year one he saved Jim's baby, but there's a guy in a motorcycle seat because it was in the middle of the day. I think Christian Bale is my favorite Batman. Have I mentioned that yet? It's either him or Pattinson. Maybe I'll need another movie from Pattinson to really make up my mind on that one. If that ever comes out. I think 2027 is when it's supposed to come out, something like that. So still a little bit ways away. Oh yeah, isn't that the guy that tried to blackmail Bruce in the first movie? I love how he just disguises himself as a nurse. Like, he could have just been one of the male nurses or a doctor or something, but no, he went for the female nurse look. Complete with the wig. It's so funny. It's like Looney Tunes. Bugs Bunny would disguise himself as a woman. Hi. You can tell that he's having fun doing this. It's really cool. I hope that Heath Ledger had fun in this role, because I know it really affected his mental health. Oh, that's why he targeted it? That makes sense. Yeah, that theory that I mentioned earlier, that's where that comes from when he mentions a truckload of soldiers blowing up. People were thinking that he could have been a soldier based on that. And I think it would match up with like his resourcefulness and like his skill with firearms and stuff. That could also be why he's not necessarily worried about money from the money he made from the military. I think there was a whole game or a film theory about that. I hope Matt Pett's doing all right. He's gotten into politics recently, so that's cool. But I haven't really been keeping up with those channels now that he's gone. But I'll pop in every once in a while if it's a topic that I'm interested in. Yeah, here where he pretends that he didn't know what he was doing. I like that. That's a practical explosion. Pretty cool. He's like, is that it? I feel like I rigged up more explosives than that. That was an improvised moment, I'm pretty sure. Because it didn't all go off when it was supposed to. When they were filming it. Yeah, so the one hospital that they didn't go to is the one that he blew up. Joker's like, no, you're supposed to laugh like this. That's really cool. Like their way to use sonar. I like that. A bunch of monitors like Ozymandias too. Need me to shake it for you? He's like, oh. Like how part of it drips down his chin, yeah. Would that hurt his exposed, like, flesh? Like, sting it? That's crazy. Unethical? Batman's like, oh, what? The government does it all the time. I hope the CIA agent listening in to my recording is enjoying this commentary track. Please consider contributing to my Patreon. Link in the description. Oh wow, we're almost done. Just about 35-ish minutes left. Sure, he likes to pretend that he's not a mastermind, but he is. Ramirez, yeah. The driver. See, just like borderline sewer slidle. Apparently you can't say that word on YouTube, so I'm just gonna say sewer slide. There's Tiny Zeus Lister. May he rest in peace as well. Yep, Debo from Friday. I love that movie, by the way. He was also a wrestler. That's where the name Zeus comes from. Yeah, that was back in 2020 that he passed away. Apparently, he was ranked as number 500 in the PWI 500 in 1991. Interesting. I think it's supposed to be the top 500 wrestlers of the year. And he was 62 when he passed away. I like how the Lego Batman movie makes a reference to this scene. I'll definitely be doing something for that too. That's got its 10th anniversary coming next year, so it'll probably be then. Oh, wait, no, next year is 2026. 2027 would be the 10-year anniversary. I'll probably do that then. So I was wrong. She's not Renee Montoya. Her name's Ramirez. But they do have a movie with Renee Montoya, and that's Birds of Prey. I think she also shows up in the Supergirl show, actually. She dates Supergirl's sister for a brief minute. Am I getting that right? That sounds right to me. So here, I'm pretty sure Batman is just hoping that they're not going to do it. We have to save Dent. He's like, I will after I take care of this clown. Kind of interesting that they have like 2 final bosses in this movie now, because Two-Face hates Joker, so he wouldn't work with him. Makes sense how they did that. But like in every other movie, the 2 big villains are working together. I think it's cool how the eyes light up like that. It's like the comic book look. And that's really cool. Wonder how the effects team pulled that one off. That means they didn't pull the trigger. Yeah. There's the dogs. Almost like his hyenas in the animated series. Doot 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 doot. Oh yeah, his hyenas are named Bud and Lou. I forgot about that. Birds of Prey, one of them's named Bruce. Oh yeah, there's a post on the internet that even says the hyenas keep changing their names. On the DVD, that's the little clip that plays before the movie starts. This is a physical media household. Although I definitely will have to watch the movies digital for this. I don't have every movie. But most of my favorite ones I do. One of the rare quips that this Batman has. It's really good though. No, but I know how you got these. You just couldn't let me go, could you? Here comes the we're not so different. We're not so different, you and I speech. Did you hear my voice give out there a little bit? I don't know why I do that, because I haven't been talking that much today. He's trying to imitate Christian Bale's Batman voice. As far as the mask goes, it's one of the best looking masks in a Batman movie. His laughs here are crazy. Alright, so now he's going to try to save Harvey from himself. I was like, well, to be fair, Bruce did kind of tell him he was going after her. I wonder what that line could be referring to. Is it just because they were going to be married, or do you think she was pregnant? It's not really his fault, though. I mean, it's the Joker that did it. But the Joker doesn't love anybody. They had like a Harley, he could have gone after her. But it's kind of debatable whether or not Joker actually cares about Harley. The Suicide Squad movie seems to, at least. There's the police doggos. I've also heard that line referenced a lot too. Is chance. Now it's not rigged because his coin got burned. Sometimes he just scars it though. Scratches it, I mean. I don't know how he does that though, with a knife, I guess. Or he could have gone after Maroni's wife, I guess. I don't know. And that kid's probably scarred for life. Which does kind of line up with the comics in that way, because his son in the comics is pretty damaged. Comes a serial killer, as I mentioned earlier. And is that little girl supposed to be Babs? I guess. I don't think they ever mentioned her by name. But yeah, they totally could have had her come back in Dark Knight Rises and be Batgirl. While Bruce is being a hermit. I feel like that definitely could have worked. Speaking of Batgirl, kind of sucks what happened to that movie. I was interested to see it. At first, I believe it was supposed to be written by the Buffy guy. Also did the Avengers, but I think they changed the writer somewhere down the line. What's his name again? I forget. Joss Whedon. Yeah, Whedon was supposed to write the Batgirl movie. Or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. I do like this kind of debate. Wants to preserve Harvey's image just so that the good that he did would be remembered. Oh yeah, him taking the axe to the bat signal. This is a great ending. It's like the Empire Strikes Back ending of Batman movies. It's not really happy, but it's something. And yeah, his role in the next movie is significantly lessened, I'm pretty sure. I think they established that Jim's son's a serial killer in one of the Grant Morrison stories. Or Jeff Johns, I'm not sure. A Dark Knight. Oh, it's so good. Well, that's Dark Knight. I'll try to have Dark Knight Rises out sometime next week or the week after that. Or depending on when this gets uploaded, maybe even in the same week, because today is Sunday when I'm recording this. Hope you enjoyed my second commentary track. There's gonna be a lot of these just as I come up with ideas for like bigger videos and stuff. And I'm gonna keep making those Telltale Batman videos too. It's kind of my plan for now. I've got something else coming tomorrow. I'll be uploading. It'll be another weekly thing. I'd also like to thank Mark for subscribing to my Patreon. My first ever patron. And you can do the same if you would like to. Lowest tier is $1. And I also mentioned in my Batman Begins video I was going to try to do a DC related video that's not a commentary track. And it might end up being a 2-parter actually. But I'll try to have that out soon too. Superman's pretty close to releasing. That's this Friday, actually. Well, where does the time go? Oh, and I also have a surprise commentary track coming for you. And if you know your superhero movie release dates, you might be able to guess what it is. I'm not telling just yet. I'll just have it be a surprise. But I think it's kind of underrated in the pantheon of superhero movies, to be honest with you. That's all I'll say about that. As far as this movie goes, though, this is a top 10 movie for me, honestly. I think it's like number 9, because I think I've got like a movie above that. Yeah, this is number 9. And I guess here's where I'll reveal that this is not my favorite Batman movie. It's pretty close, though. My favorite movie is actually The Batman with Robert Pattinson. I'll do that at some point, definitely, and I'll explain a little bit more why I prefer that to The Dark Knight. But to explain the numbers a little bit, I like to do this thing called Flick Chart. I think it's pretty fun. You just pick your favorite movies and I'll make a list for you. Been doing that for a good while now. I've got like 1,500 movies on there. Over 1,500. And I think as far as updates go, that's about it. And my opinions for the movie. I mean, much like Batman Begins, there's not really anything I'd do differently. This is my favorite Christopher Nolan movie, though. For sure. They credited the Lamborghini that Bruce drove. That's kind of funny. Yep, there's the title card. And so good night, good evening, good night, or how does that go on Truman Show? Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.